Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day, another drizzly day out there. In fact, we're going to have a rain for another couple days or so. I'll tell you about that in just a moment because we'll have a little sunshine mixed in as well. On our show today, we have Miriam Drake, and Miriam works with the Soul Club, and she has a couple seminars coming up about organizing, getting your affairs in order before you pass away. It's kind of a daunting subject, but it's something that's very important. She's going to go over the types of things that you need, and then we'll give you the dates of those seminars that are coming up. Also, from the United Way, Sue Parks is here and going to be talking about how you can get your taxes done for free if you're under a certain income level, if you are still working, meaning you have a W-2 coming in. She's going to give you some dates and times and when you can have this done. Actually, it starts coming up this week on Wednesdays. We're also going to bring you a segment from Breastlink Radnet and also Susan Tuttle, Susan Tuttle Fitness. If you watch her program every day, she sat down with Lisa when she was here visiting, and nice conversation and great program. Everybody seems to like her fitness program. Now, there are no meetings to speak of today. In fact, the next meeting will be tomorrow, will be GRF's regular board meeting. So we can get right to the weather, and the drizzly days are upon us again for the next couple days. Now today and tomorrow, I actually put a little sunshine in the forecast because if you're watching us in the morning, we had a little sunshine just a little while ago. But it is going to be mostly rainy today, and the biggest part of this system, this storm, should come in to our area here right about noon. There'll be another kind of a squall line that'll come in probably a little afternoon. So the early afternoon will be the strongest, but we're going to get scattered showers throughout the day. Then actually Tuesday, this is actually part of the same system that we've been having. This is like the backside of it we had over the weekend. Next one comes in tomorrow. Same thing, maybe a little sunshine, but scattered rain throughout the day. We're looking at maybe throughout the day today, maybe a ½ inch to an inch, just depending. Tomorrow, maybe a ¼ inch to a ½ inch, and then it could possibly spill over into Wednesday, and then it'll start to clear. We'll have pretty sunny skies Thursday and Friday, and then it looks like a chance, right now it's 20% chance of another system coming in next weekend. So all told, when I looked at my rain gauge this morning, we were at, for the weekend, meaning Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then this morning, when I looked at it about 6 o'clock this morning, about 3¼ inches total for that time period. We may add another ½ inch later today, and then maybe a ¼ inch or more tomorrow. So all being said, we're looking at maybe 4 inches. It did snow on Saddleback. I could see that last night on the Doppler. You can't see it because it's been covered in a cloud layer, but maybe if it clears later a little bit, you'll be able to see some snow. Colder tomorrow as we go forward. So we could get a dusting of snow up there again, and because the snow levels went down in some areas to 4,000 feet along the Grapevine. Here, the peak of the Majeska Mountain and those, they're at about 5,400 feet, so they did get a dusting. And of course, the local ski resorts got a tremendous amount of snow, and that'll continue all the way through tomorrow, possibly even to Wednesday. So a cool week, and again, we'll look at that next storm coming in, meaning next weekend, I should say. Right now, it's 20% chance on Saturday and Sunday. Let's take a look around the county today. Everything is pretty cool, and South OC, I'm sorry, I should have put that, I didn't change that temperature. That'll actually be about 58 degrees today. So everywhere in the mid to upper 50s today. Big Bear, 33 is their high. Even Palm Springs, their high is 64 degrees. So this is a cool system, another set of cool days. And as I said, more snow coming in to the ski resorts, and possibly more of a dusting on top of Saddleback. I don't know if it's going to clear enough so we can see it, but that would be kind of nice. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome back. I'm Kiana Lee. Today we're talking to Dr. Chuck Lee of 7 Day Dental. Today's topic is dental implants. Doctor, what do we need to know about dental implants?
Well, when you lose a tooth, you lose bone. With a dental implant, it maintains your bone and it's an easy procedure. We are open 7 days a week, 365 days a year for all your dental needs.
Thank you, Doctor. So come on in and get your 7-day dental smile.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
At Diane's Hallmark, we're ready for Valentine's Day. Are you? Come in and see our great selection of cards and gifts. We have everything you need to show that special someone how much you care. And don't forget those grandkids either. Diane's Hallmark has many gifts and cards for them as well. Diane's Hallmark is located in the town center, right next to Hobby Lobby. Come in today and take care of all of your Valentine's Day needs.
Individual care, specialized care. At Harvard Eye Associates, your vision and quality of life can be trusted to a group of specialists that provide advanced technology for the treatment of cataracts, including laser-assisted surgery, a broad range of intraocular lenses, and astigmatism correction. Come join the Circle of Care at Harvard Eye Associates, where the future of vision is today.
Well, with me right now is Miriam Drake, and Miriam is working with the Soul Club, and one of the seminars that she is doing that's coming up in just a few days is about getting your affairs organized, and she was on before talking about this. I want to mention that there's one on February 9th or February 23rd. Welcome, nice to have you here today.
Thank you, Ken.
So tell me what this is all about.
The seminars are designed to help people get their affairs organized, documents, find a good attorney, put together their power of attorney for finance and healthcare. In the seminar, we will complete the 5 wishes form, which is a legal document. We're going to go over a to-do list. And so people have more of a structured idea of what they need to do to take care of themselves.
Okay. And are you working with any other organization? Because I know the Senior Center does this and a few others do this as well.
This is sponsored by the Soul Club.
Okay.
And I'm offering the seminar. I've done this before in other locations, not just in the village.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is something that when people come to this, that should they bring some materials? Are they going to be doing something that day, or you're going to provide them stuff and when they go back home they can go through all this?
Yes. They will receive the 5 wishes form and a book.
Okay.
And I will send them via email a downloadable PDF of the workbook, which is basically all the forms that they're going to need to complete all the tasks.
Okay.
And we will go over the to-do list, we will go over the forms. People will share experiences and knowledge that they have. There'll be a question and answer session. So it's information, but it's also other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as some of the things you said to go over, you mentioned it's a good idea, of course, to get an attorney.
Yes.
I know a lot of these forms can also be downloaded, the legal forms, and some people may choose to do them themselves. A lot of them there's some online places people can go and that takes you step by, almost like doing your taxes online. So there's different options that people have.
There are many different options, and a lot depends on how simple their estate is. Some people have very complicated, many pieces of property, blended families, et cetera, et cetera. Other people, they don't have children. It's just, everybody's in a different position.
Okay. Now, at this seminar, this will be, by the way, the first one February 9th, which is this Saturday at Clubhouse 2, and then also Clubhouse 2 again on February 23rd. And the fee for this is $25, and that's to cover the materials, am I right?
$25 pays for the materials, and then it's a love donation. So there's really, it's not a charge for the seminar itself, no. And if people have come to one of the seminars and they want to retake it, they can do that.
Okay, all right. So if they go to one, then, but they're separate. In other words, it's the same seminar. It's not as though you have to go to both of these.
No,
right?
no,
okay.
no.
All right. Yep. Now, RSVP is important because you have limited space, and that is affairsorganized@gmail.com. And if you forget that, I imagine they can go to the Soul Club online. They probably have a link and go from there, right?
That's a possibility, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got space left for this one, right?
We do have space left for this one.
Okay.
And I encourage people to tell their neighbors, bring your neighbors with you, bring the exact change for the books when you come on Saturday.
Okay. Now, what about what you do on this? You're giving the seminar. Do you have a legal background? Are you a financial advisor, or you're simply there to here are the things you're going to be needing when you sit down with those people?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay.
I'm not a financial person. I am not a legal professional. I'm a professional counselor for personal counseling, and I work with grief and that kind of thing. But I have a lot of experience. I used to work in healthcare administration. I know a few things, and I've seen a few things, and I realized how important this is for people to do.
Right, and it's important because you don't want your loved ones to be burdened with this, although it's a very hard thing to plan for things when you're not going to be here. And that's one of the hardest things.
And people need to realize you're not doing this for yourself so much as you're doing this for your survivors.
Right. Yeah, which is particularly if you are married, how important that is for your surviving spouse.
Yeah.
So they don't have that to go through. So again, this is this Saturday, 9:30 at Clubhouse 2, or 2 weeks from this Saturday on the 23rd, also in Clubhouse 2 in the Los Olivos room. And if you'd like to go, please email Miriam at affairsorganized@gmail.com. When they come there, do they bring a payment then? Is that how that works?
Yes, I think that's going to be the best way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what, a check, cash, and?
Check, cash.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Very good.
Good. Thank you
Good to
very
have
much.
you back again. And I know you've done these in the past, so maybe in the future you'll do them again as we get through, because this is something that, it's an ongoing type thing.
As long as there's a need.
Yeah, I think there always will be. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Mary.
Good to see you.
Take care. We'll be right back.
Have you been struggling to hear in larger groups? Well, that can be very frustrating. We do have solutions for that at Hearing Remedy. In particular, these tiny hearing aids that can help people hear better in many, many noisy situations. Please give us a call. We have these on sale for a limited time, only $895 for a hearing aid. Call, make an appointment for your free hearing exam, and get on the road to better hearing.
Mind and Memory Program at Mission Hospital is an outpatient program specifically designed for patients with a memory disorder who have developed a mental health issue, such as depression, anxiety, or paranoia. Patients are welcome every day, Monday through Friday, up to 4 days a week. On-site meals and snacks are included, and transportation to and from the program is available. The program focuses on improvement in overall mood, function, and concentration, as well as a decrease in depression or anxiety. Call today to find out if you or your loved one qualifies for the Mind and Memory Program.
The Laguna Hills Lodge is very proud to have been awarded the TripAdvisor Award of Excellence for the last 5 years. Discover this family-friendly boutique hotel and enjoy our crystal clear pool and spa, beautiful gardens, and convenient location. Our designer upgraded rooms feature luxury comforts of much higher-priced hotel chains and include free continental breakfast, parking, Wi-Fi, and more. We match the lowest price you can find online. Ask about our Laguna Woods special offer.
We all know there's no place like home. You want to stay in your own home, but day-to-day tasks are getting more difficult to manage. Acticare is the solution. We are the trusted care partner in your community with 5-star reviews. You've taken care of others all your life. Now is the time to let us help you. In-home care is a safe and effective way to help you remain living independently in the comfort of your own home.
Acticare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
Welcome back. Well, today we're going to be talking about taxes. Not always the most fun subject, but in this case, Sue Parks is with us with the United Way, and they are going to be having help for you if that's what you would like. People that can help you do your taxes at no cost, and it's done in conjunction with the United Way and also AARP, and it's a really great service, so welcome.
Thanks, Ken. Glad to be here.
So tell me about when you're going to be doing this and how long the program goes on.
Okay, well, OC Free Tax Prep runs through April 15th.
Okay.
And here at Laguna Woods, we're actually supporting with volunteers who are every Wednesday at Clubhouse 5 in the dining room from 9 to 3.
Okay.
So, and that will go through March in terms of having people on site. But there are sites throughout the county as well.
Now, as far as people doing this, how do they, I guess they're going to ask, do I need an appointment? Do I just show up? How does that work?
They can certainly just show up in terms of what's going on, but there's a great site to find out all their questions and their answers. And I'm not sure if it's on the screen behind me.
OCFreeTaxPrep.com.
OCFreeTaxPrep.com, exactly. Yeah. And that'll answer any questions, but it'll also show maybe Wednesdays aren't a good day, but they want to get this done and they want the help. It'll show them other sites throughout the county as well.
Okay, now what about, I think people who maybe want to do this, they're going to ask, well, who are these people that are helping out? Are they accountants? Are they trained? Are they, obviously you want to know that because they're the ones that are guiding you through this process, right?
Absolutely. So every year, Orange County United Way trains with the IRS over 500 volunteers. So these are volunteers who have been trained, and so they've gone through a really very strict training program, but they really are here to help people who need help with their taxes. And we say that low and moderate income people here in Orange County. And such a great service because it takes away the tax preparation fee, but also it links people who earn under $55,000 a year may not know that there are earned income tax credit programs out there, and they may be able to get up to $6,000 back. And again, they can go on OCFreeTaxPrep.com to learn more, but those volunteers are trained to help people. Just last year alone, we brought back $4.6 million to people in Orange County who qualified. So these are working people who have a W-2 or self-employed, but earn under $55,000. So that's another amazing reason for your members here might qualify for that, to take a look at it.
Now, that's $55,000 per individual, am I right? Or is it by couple, or that
would be household.
Oh, household.
Household income, yes.
Okay. Now, when they decide to do this, they're going to, what should they bring? Just the kind of things you'd normally bring, your W-2, if you give into any charities and have deductions and things like that.
Yeah, but just think of it as going to an accountant, and for people who haven't done that before, again, I keep referring back to the website, but the website will tell them exactly what to bring. But definitely bring all of their identification, any receipts that they have questions on, certainly their W-2s, or on documentation if they're self-employed.
Okay, now as far as again, you know, since it's a limited time here, it's only Wednesdays, am I right? If people want to set up a time, can they, or is it strictly first come?
Again, in terms of checking out, I believe that it would be available for them to go on ocfreetaxprep.com to see if there are specific appointments scheduled on Wednesday. Other than that, they could come, they could see the flow of folks, and I don't think they would have a long wait.
Okay, and usually I would think that a lot of the people who are in this bracket, it doesn't take too long to do their taxes.
Right. I think it's just the help. The help. And again, I can't emphasize enough that there are people who are missing out on that earned income tax credit program. And I think that last year, or a couple of years ago, the government here thought, when they looked at all the records of who would have qualified, 1.1 million people missed out on that earned income tax credit. There was something like $1.9 billion left on the table. So I strongly encourage anybody who maybe think, oh, my brother-in-law helps me with my taxes, or somebody else helps me with my taxes, may not know about that earned income tax credit, and what a wonderful way to find out.
And is that tax credit like just deducted from the from your income? Is that how that works?
Well, I know that they get a check back. So last year we brought back the Orange County United Way, and working with all of our partners, we brought back over, I think, $4.6 million to people here. We help, and we want to help more. On that. Yeah, we want to help more.
So again, the website, ocfreetaxprep.com. Obviously, you know, what Sue is saying here, she encourages you to look at that first, because that's going to give you all the information that you need, what you need to bring with you, because there might be things that you don't know about. You know, I'm looking at the list here. Obviously, people know W-2s, but, you know, like a 1098 and T forms for educational expenses. A lot of people wouldn't have thought to bring that.
Right.
You know, so that's really helpful.
Yeah, set yourself up so you can win, and you can maximize the process there, right?
Okay.
And again, so I know that we're here at Laguna Woods, and just so you know, they did a survey, the government does a survey, and there's a lot of people in zip code 92637, which I believe is the Laguna Woods zip code, that would qualify for that earned income tax credit, meaning they're working, they get a W-2, or they're self-employed. And we want to make sure everyone here gets the maximum benefit that they can.
Okay, and that's a good point that you just brought up. People here that are still working.
Correct.
That are still, people that are just retired on Social Security or a pension or something like that, that's different.
If they still want to help with their taxes,
please
come. But for the earned income tax credit, it's based on your earnings. So again, two different ways to think about it. For people who come and would qualify for getting their free taxes, it would be $60,000 or under in terms of their income. And for somebody eligible for the earned income tax credit, it'd be under $55,000.
Okay, very good. And again, that website is ocfreetaxprep.com. I encourage you to go there because you can get all your information. It starts is it this Wednesday?
Yeah, it runs now through the end of March here.
Okay.
And you know, we at Orange County United Way are just happy to help. One of our major goals is helping people achieve financial stability, and this is a really important program that we're excited to have the opportunity to share.
All right, thank you very much. So I really appreciate it. Great to have you on. And again, once again, ocfreetaxprep.com, and go on there first, get your information, make sure you bring all your stuff with you. That's the important thing.
Great.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you,
Good
Ken.
to see you. We'll be right back.
When you travel with AAA, you get more than a vacation. You get exclusive AAA member benefits, special offers on unforgettable experiences, and the travel planning knowledge of your own AAA travel agent. When you travel with AAA, you get the vacation of your dreams. To save on a pleasant holidays vacation, visit your local AAA travel agent today.
The #1 choice for President's Day savings is LA Carpet and More.
Now save 65% on carpet and 65% off tile.
Plus, get 5 years 0% financing.
LA LA carpet, #1 for you.
The #1 choice for President's Day savings is LA Carpet and More.
Now save 65% on carpet and 65% off tile.
Plus, get 5 years 0% financing.
LA carpet, #1 for you.
Missed a moment of the passage?
Explain to me why you need a kid.
What we're doing could save millions.
It's not too late to catch the show critics say is gripping.
You're my most important little girl in the world.
Will keep you coming back for more.
I suggest you run.
Your next thriller obsession.
You just did that.
I just sit there.
The Passage, all new Mondays at 9, or watch anytime on demand or Fox Now.
Thank you for joining us. I have Dr. Vishtas Arizan, who is a breast radiologist, and we're going to be talking about breast imaging. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so breast imaging, there's a variety of different ways that we can look at that. Give me an example of some different kinds of imaging.
Well, basically, what we do is very methodical. So there's mammograms, which uses x-rays to look at the breast. There's ultrasound, which uses sound waves to look at the breast. And then MRI, which uses radio frequencies to look at the breast. And there's other ways to look at the breast which are not as common with nuclear medicine and things like that. But primarily, we start off with a breast mammogram as a screening tool. And then if anything's abnormal, we'll ask the patient to come back. We'll get more mammographic views and then typically add an ultrasound. And then from there is when we'll decide, do we need to stop imaging and do biopsies or just follow it up with that kind of imaging, or do we need to add MRI as an extra tool?
So when you use ultrasound, how is that making it deeper for you to be able to view, or why would you go that route?
It's just a different way to look at the same tissue.
Okay.
So mammograms are very good at finding tiny, tiny calcifications.
Okay.
Calcifications can be early signs of breast cancer. Sometimes it's even pre-breast cancer that starts off at tiny calcifications. Unfortunately, ultrasound can't pick up that fine detail. MRI sometimes can't find precancerous lesions. So that's why we start with mammography to try to find those calcifications.
Okay.
And then when it comes to ultrasound, it is a useful tool because sometimes some patients have very dense breasts. And the mammogram will not be able to find certain cancers because breast tissue shows up as white. And then cancer shows up as white. And if you put white on white, guess what?
Exactly.
You get white. So that's where ultrasound can be used as a tool to look at the tissue with a different technology and try to find potential cancers underneath.
In regards to density, there are many women who have breast implants. How do you guys deal with that?
So breast implants, it basically makes us take extra images of the breast.
Okay.
So what we do is you take one set of images with the implants in the view, and then another set of images with the implants pushed out of view.
Oh, wow.
And typically when you push the breast implant out of the view, you are able to see the vast majority of the breast.
Okay, so you don't have to go to a different method.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Unfortunately, depending on where the implant is placed, it will dictate how much of the breast tissue you can see. Because they can place the implant in front of the pectoral muscle, or they can place the implant behind the pectoral muscle.
Okay.
If it's behind the pectoral muscle, that's when we're able to see the majority of the breast tissue.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. And then also, the way that they put the implant in, either in front or behind the muscle, how does that affect it?
So women who have breast implants are at a slight disadvantage to other women because the implant can obscure or cover up certain findings. So if the implant is placed in front of the pectoral muscle, that's where we can run into that problem.
Okay.
If the implant is placed underneath the muscle, then you're able to see the vast majority of the breast tissue.
Okay, so at least it's nice to know that you guys can address that without
Correct.
them having a totally separate type of screening.
Correct.
Okay, good. Let's talk about where in the breast is the most common forms of where cancer develops.
Good question. Breast cancer actually happens in The whole breast, anywhere as possible. We break it up into quadrants. So we describe it as an upper outer, upper inner, lower outer quadrant. The vast majority of breast tissue happens to be in the upper outer quadrant. So statistically, wherever the more breast tissue is located, that's where you're going to be able to find more cancers.
And then we had been talking about different invasive versus non-invasive breast cancers. How does that differ?
So on our side, we can basically tell, is there something suspicious? Is there something not suspicious? Sometimes we can see a mass that's extremely suspicious because of some of its features, and we can assume that it has invasive components to it.
Okay.
But assumptions aren't going to help. That's why we do the biopsy. We send that tissue out to the pathologist, so fellowship-trained doctors will look at it under a microscope and they tell us, okay, these cells have now penetrated through the basement membrane, which is the boundary of the cell, and have now invaded out of the cell, and they get labeled as invasive disease.
Okay. Prior to any of this going on, any of the screening, when we're in our doctor's offices, is there any other type of testing that can be done prior to ever having a mammogram, like maybe some sort of genetic testing, or is that done after?
It all depends. And it really depends on how much information you have about your family history.
Okay.
So if you have a family member who had breast cancer, and the people who are going to have the greatest weight would be your mother, your sister, or your daughter.
Okay.
If they have a history of breast cancer, and let's say they had it at age 38, if a mother had it, then the daughter should start imaging at age 28.
Okay.
So at a 28-year-old, it gets kind of complicated, but we would typically start with ultrasound imaging until they reach the age of 30. Then we would start screening mammogram on that patient, and it's even indicated that they're going to get MRIs every year.
Right.
So it depends on knowing the family history, which would help push you to start sooner. And yes, genetic testing would be important for that patient. So all these tools will come together.
You know, something I find kind of difficult, I mean, over the years that I've been going to the doctor, is that I can't remember when somebody has had something. So should we know this history ahead of time before we even go to the doctor, or what do we need to do?
It's tough, and it all really depends on how close you are to your family,
Right.
and how comfortable your family members are with disclosing health concerns.
Right.
Typically with cancer or the C word, a lot of people will be open with that, or you saw them go through treatment. So that's how you can kind of get that information.
Okay. And how concerned do we need to be if, let's say, my grandmother passed away from colon cancer? Do I need to be worried about getting that particular cancer or any cancer?
It depends. Some cancers do run in families, some cancers do not. And it's hard to say because, for example, with breast cancer, I've noticed that the population will tell me, oh, you know what, I don't have breast cancer in my family, so I should be okay. But that's a fallacy. It's not true. Most breast cancer is spontaneous, and there is no family history of it.
Okay, all right. And at what particular age do we need to be concerned about getting any type of screening or being concerned about getting breast cancer or any type of cancer?
For breast cancer screening, we go off of data from research that we've had. And the American College of Radiology, which is our governing body, recommends starting at age 40 if you're at average risk. And again, average risk means no real family history of breast cancer, which may cause you to start sooner.
But we're seeing cases that are even younger than that.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
So at what point do you decide?
That's the hard thing, because there's 24-year-olds who get breast cancer.
Right.
You know, there's patients in their 30s that get breast cancer, and unfortunately, those cases are when the patient comes in saying, oh doc, I feel a lump. There's something abnormal in my breast. I don't feel right. My intuition tells me something's wrong.
Right.
And when we look at those patients, we find out if they do have cancer, unfortunately, they have more aggressive, higher grade cancers. And statistically, from what I've noticed, it's those patients that may lose the battle to breast cancer,
Right.
rather than a patient who finds out that they have breast cancer in their 60s, for example, or
Right.
50s.
Right. But then self-care is also really important too,
Absolutely.
right?
I mean, it's one of those things where I don't like to practice with the old school style of medicine of telling my patient what to eat. I come in and I tell them, this is what I know, this is what I see, and this is what I recommend. You are, the master of your body. You get to choose what you want to do with that information. Sometimes some patients will use that information and move forward. Other times their choice is to not do it, and that's fine with me.
Right.
It may not be ideal for their overall outcome, but it's a life choice.
Exactly, exactly. Any last things you'd like to tell anybody about all the different types of screening?
Well, one thing, and I hope that I can try to do my part to try to teach the people in our community is getting your screening done, starting at age 40, doing it every year. And one of the important things that we don't necessarily know is, as breast imagers, old images are gold. Having an old image and being able to compare it year to year will be the way that we can find subtle differences and find cancers at an earlier stage so that their treatment will be more successful.
Right. Now, how hard would it be for them to get those images?
Sometimes it's a challenge. You get patients who come in and say, oh, I don't know, I had it in Orange County. Well, Orange County is pretty big. You know that. And without knowing the facility, it's hard to track it. So I'll educate my patient. I'll say, do you remember the facility where it might be located? Do you remember the name of the doctor that wrote you the prescription? Because all doctors will get a copy of the report. It'll say where the facility was, and then once we get the patient's permission via signature, we can grab the images and load them into our system.
Okay, which is so much easier to do now because I think everything's pretty digital.
Correct.
Right, so at least within the last 10 or so years, that would be easier to find than something even before that.
Correct.
Okay, all right,
But
well, good.
part of the thing that becomes hard is manpower.
Yeah.
So you request something at a large institution, and they might be inundated with a lot of requests, so the images may not come back in a timely fashion.
Right.
So that's when I tell my patients, you know what? Sometimes when you just show up at someomone's front door and you ask for something, you're bound to get it fast.
Well, that's
So if they go to the imaging facility, they can get a disc with the images quicker.
Wouldn't that be like the squeaky wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. Thank you very much for the information.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
It's never too late to improve your health with exercise. Challenge yourself to get moving in the morning. Hi, I'm Susan Tuttle. I'd like to encourage you to tune in to Channel 6 each weekday mornings at 7:55. 30 minutes of daily exercise will add years to your life. What are you waiting for? Come join me.
Welcome back. Well, you just saw a clip from a promo of Susan Tuttle Fitness, and I know you guys know her because you've been asking about her videos, and she's on Monday through Friday at 7:55 in the morning for fitness, and I have her right here with us today. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you could come out here and sit with us and tell us all about fitness in the new year. So that's kind of what we're going to do today.
Well, thank you, because there's a lot of people making New Year's resolutions, and we really want to motivate them to have a healthier lifestyle.
Right. So now, obviously, you have the shows, and then you teach as well. some benefits of exercise, and one thing in particular I think we should touch on is balance, because we've been talking a lot about balance over the course of the last couple of weeks, where there's been a lot more movement towards people doing exercises for balance. So for instance, give me some of the top 5 things as to why we do have exercise.
5 things. Okay. Well, the 5 things that fitness does, exercise in particular, you have to realize that as we age, if you become like when you're about in your 60s, okay, well, your muscle tone starts to diminish. And you have to actually lift more weights and work a little bit longer with weights than a younger adult. And you don't realize that. You have to continue. You have to maintain an exercise routine of like 30 minutes a day, almost every day, do some sort of fitness. Okay. And then with a healthy lifestyle, healthy eating habits, you know, eating some healthy foods, you know, those healthy fats and cutting down on that sugar, then you will find improvements in your cardiovascular disease. We've had people that have actually communicated to me that after the classes that they're finding that their bone marrow loss has improved. That it's not, it just stopped, and then they've been able to reverse certain conditions. And it's amazing to watch the improvements that people come back to me. They're not falling. They're having more stability. They're able to walk without the fear of falling. And you know, and I have a theory. Okay, so it's like this dentist that I used to know. He told me, he said, if you don't want to floss, fine, but just floss the teeth you want to keep. So I tell people, hey, just work the muscles that you want to keep. Because as you age, you're going to lose those. You're going to lose your ability to be able to sit up and get out of the chair and stand. You're going to lose the core strength where you're going to be wobbly. And just doing the walking exercises, you could fall. Right. You have to stay strong. And all those benefits is so that you become independent. And you can maintain your independence, which is huge.
Right, right. Now, for instance, when you talk about working the different types of muscles, do you have people that sometimes say, oh gosh, you know, it's just so hard to do it for the 30 minutes. But would it get easier for them if they kept doing it?
Well, yes, you actually feel better about it. You feel those little endorphins get reversed, endorphins get increased when you're exercising and you're getting your heart rate up. And then you do have a specific routine that you do. If you do 30 minutes every day of some sort of exercise, yes, everything you would see improvements. And but one of the big things is that you're letting go of some stress and anxiety. It actually improves your mental activity. And so all of a sudden you're sharper and your mind is focused because you're trying to watch, even if you're just watching a video of me, you're focused. You're focused for one moment on the present and working on your body. And that's also an improvement.
Now, most of the videos that I've seen really do involve the chair exercises, and you have balls and weights and also the band. So what are you trying to accomplish in each one of your classes? Like, what do you want them to get out of it?
Well, the largest thing is to the repetitions of the weights. So we use light weights. Believe it or not, that is a fallacy that you need to have these huge, heavy weights to be completely buff. You know, and the older you get, you're working at muscle tone. And so you want to do higher repetitions. So we do the higher repetitions of lower weights. And I also found that the things that I teach in my chair exercises without it being emphasized is balance. It's the strength of the core. It's to sit up so that you're elongating and you're working your abs, you're pulling them in, you're working this core strength, and that will help you with your posture and help elevate you. And then when you have a better posture, your back becomes stronger. I mean, you might not know this, but I suffered from low back pain. I had a car accident so many years ago, and I thought I would never be able to teach classes. I really was in pain. And then I started to build and develop my back muscles, which all of a sudden helped my posture, and it helped my core strength, and I do not have back pain. And I'm out on the pickleball courts now. Right. So I'm out playing and running around and doing all kinds of activity I never thought I could do. I thought I would be suffering for the rest of my life because I exercised, even in the chair, working that core.
Okay, yeah, I have heard that when you have a tighter core, you don't have as many back problems.
Correct.
So good point. So you are a pickleballer. You love to play pickleball. You know, we have pickleball courts here, and we have pickleball clubs, and they really like it. What do you love about it?
Oh, wow. It gets your heart rate up. And then I tend to, you know, naturally have a little weight loss. I mean, yeah, I eat a healthy diet and I exercise, but the cardiovascular you get from pickleball, it's really nice. It helps in that area. And it keeps me feeling youthful.
Right.
And fun. And it's just, but you know what, if I couldn't do that and I had to be in a chair, I would still never be sedentary.
Right.
Because you stay in a chair and you're sedentary, and I'll tell you, you start to decline physically. You decline mentally. You decline. I mean, they even said tests that you can some dementia cases or because you're more sedentary.
Right.
So just to stay active, I would find something else to do, even if I had to remain seated in a chair and not play pickleball.
Okay, okay, good. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other videos that you have. Now, like I said, we've seen mostly the chair ones. What are some of the other ones you do?
I have some dancing videos that are a lot of fun, and I have some other cardio ones that it mimics a low-impact aerobic class.
Okay.
And you could do in your home. And there's a guy that is on the floor doing exercises where we remain standing.
Okay.
To be honest with you, we remain seated and we work our abs. And my abs are amazing. And I sit in the chair and just push on a ball, or I just pull my abdomen. You don't need to go on the floor if you're not comfortable on the floor.
Okay.
And the other one I do is dancing. It's very similar to a Zumba class. And I heard you have some Zumba classes.
We have some Zumba. We have some Zumba
My
people.
favorite.
Oh, well, good. So maybe we'll be able to put those on Channel 6 as well, so that way people can have some time.
I have a group of girls that come to my Zumba class that were in grief counseling. And the whole group comes because it raises the endorphins, and for one moment, they could just be happy and feel like women again.
Right.
So it helps in a lot of areas.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds awesome. Okay, so if anybody wants to see your show, it's at 7:55 in the morning on Channel 6. And then one last thing, you're going to be going off to a tournament this weekend. This is why you're here. So good luck to you in your tournament.
Yes, also probably be on the wellness cruise. So if
that's right.
get in touch with Diane Mendoza with the Dream Vacations, we will show you how you can vacation and exercise and continue with your exercise routine while you're on a ship.
Perfect. Yeah, we were
fun.
just talking about that yesterday, and I know you mentioned that you were going to maybe be on there, so that'll be so fun.
Yes,
that's going to be in 2020. I think.
No, September 17th.
Oh, September
2019.
Oh, so that's not too far away.
Going to Alaska.
To Alaska. That's right. Okay, well that'll be awesome. Well, I'm very glad that you can make it out here. Thank you so much. All right, and if you want more information about Susan Tuttle Fitness, or even if you wanted to know more about the cruise that they have in September, you can go to susantuttlefitness.com, or you can get in touch with Diane Mendoza for the cruise. We'll be right back after this.
We good? Hi, I'm Susan Tuttle. I want to send out a huge thank you for those of you watching my morning exercise program. I'm convinced that the stretching that we do and the strength building is the reason I perform so well when I'm out playing on the pickleball courts. If you can't join our morning exercise program, just go to my website, purchase the DVD at susantuttlefitness.com. Stay active.
We're at Gate 6 to give you some very important information about the gate clearance system. During the summer, we rolled out an RFID process to tag 14,000 vehicles in the community. It's really important that if you did not get an RFID, that you go down to resident services at the community center to be able to get a RFID decal. If you do not have an RFID decal and you come to Gate 6 or Gate 5, please use the guest lane so you do not hold up traffic. For more safety information, we'll turn it over to Tim Moy.
Great, Chuck. That's a great point with the RFIDs. RFID is the key. You've got to have one. If you attempt to drive through the resident lanes without an RFID, obviously the arms are not going to open. So it's very important you go down to community services and pick one of those up. Secondly, as you're approaching, hey, this is something new to us all. We're used to driving through pretty quickly, giving the ambassadors a wave and being able to be on our way. But now with the arms, we need you to approach slowly, about a distance of 3 to 5 feet from the arm. That's going to trigger the arm to come up, and you'll be able to pass through. But one reminder, those, as you know, Chuck, those arms are going to go down pretty quickly, and so it's imperative that only one vehicle goes through at a time. Hey, safety is a key out here. Let's keep our eyes open, aware. We've got a merge between the resident lanes as well. So let's watch out for our neighbors as we're coming through and getting used to this system.
Right. We're going to be, once we turn on the gates at the big gate barrier arms at 6, we will then be turning them on at gate 5. So it's really important to head down to Community Services to get your RFID. For more information, please go to www.lagunawoodsvillage.com. Our priority is your safety.
Where can you see the greatest names in golf? Still making a name for themselves? Orange County's only PGA Tour Champions event returns as the Hogue Classic. Catch the legends of the PGA Tour at Newport Beach Country Club March 6th through the 10th and help Hogue Hospital give back to the health and vitality of our community in Southern California. Also, come visit the Hogue Health Village presented by Blue Shield of California to partake in games, giveaways, and informational health talks. Tickets available now at HogueClassic.com.
And our movie today is Concussion. This is a movie that came out a few years ago, and it stars Will Smith, and he plays Dr. Bennett Omalu, who uncovers the truth about brain damage in football players who suffer repeated concussions in the course of normal play. Excuse me. This is based on a true story. In fact, I remember when this happened. It's a really good movie, very it really kind of makes you think about what's going on within the NFL and in football in general. What this movie entails is about how the NFL tried to shut all this information down. And there was some things that were brought out, but not as much as this doctor would have liked. So Will Smith is in this, Alec Baldwin and Albert Brooks. Very good movie. This will be at 2 o'clock and at 6 o'clock today. Excuse me. Now on Friday, February 8th, a movie that came out last year called Measure of a Man. It's about a bullied teen who experiences a turning point summer in which he learns to stand up for himself. We're going to take a look at a trailer for this.
When I think about you, I still see this pudgy baby. And then I open my eyes and I see this big kid. And I think, what have I done wrong?
Good morning.
Happy first day of summer.
We can't hang out here all summer bothering your mother. You're going to camp, mister.
Hi.
I was hoping you weren't his girlfriend. She's my sister.
Very nice.
You.
Ignore him. He was dropped on his head at birth.
I actually got a job.
Really?
A job?
You will work Monday to Friday, 9 to 3.
You won't regret for a moment hiring me.
Excellent.
Oh, the curse of the summer people. They dangle their money around to make us do whatever they want.
Joni Williams, can I see you tomorrow?
I wish you lots of luck, Bobby Marks. And I'll be back in a few weeks. Mwah.
Hey, what are you doing? I love you.
You sure everything's okay with you?
I'm not a kid anymore.
You'd tell me if it wasn't, wouldn't you?
Have you ever been bullied?
Yes, some of the best.
Seems like all my problems are caused by summer people.
Some of the worst.
Come on, boy! Leave
me alone.
What's a fat kid like you gonna do?
What's going on with Mom and Dad? Something's up.
Don't worry about it. About time you grew up.
Hey, I'm grown up.
The measure of a man is his ability to navigate to a proper shore during the worst of the storm.
Hey, that's pretty good. I should write that one down. By the power vested in me, by the state of New York, I now pronounce you
Movie,
deceased.
great cast in this. Blake Cooper, he plays the young man there, Donald Sutherland and Judy Greer. And of course, you saw Luke Wilson in this as well. This came out last year, and it's rated PG-13, sort of a comedy drama. You can see it, I think it takes place in the late 60s, if I'm not mistaken. Good movie. That'll be coming up on Friday this week. A lot of good movies coming your way. We have First Man on the 15th, which is a look at the life of astronaut Neil Armstrong. We have Johnny English Strikes Again. This is going to be, you know, the guy who plays Rowan Atkinson. He plays Mr. Bean, and funny movie. This is a takeoff of the James Bond movie, so I always enjoy his stuff. We also have this one I'm looking forward to, Tea with the Dames. This is February 11th, and this is a movie that is a documentary. They get Judi Dench is in this, and Eileen Atkins, Joan Plowright, and Maggie Smith, and it's all about them just kind of sitting around, having tea, having a great conversation about their careers. I mean, just great actresses. Then we bring you a true classic, Poltergeist, and I'm looking forward to that. 1982, that came out. Wow. That was a long time ago. And if any of you have watched the program on Netflix, Stranger Things, that is those guys who started that, who make this, were very influenced by this movie, and there's a lot of similarities in them. And then Hope Springs, that'll be on February 25th. So some great movies coming your way. Also in March, we got some stuff coming your way as well that I think you'll be some Academy Award nominations that we'll bring to you in March. All right, I want to tell you, since this takes place this week on Thursday, the Laguna Woods Dog Club is having their dog licensing and vaccination day. This is a chance to get your dog all taken care of in one stop. The morning will be veterinary services from 9:30 to 1, and that's where you can get any vaccinations that they may need. And then license services will happen at 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and this is being helped out by the Alicia Pet Care Center. Now, I would suggest, although it doesn't say here in my opinion, if you're going to come to this to get your dogs vaccinated, bring their paperwork if you have the last time they got vaccinated, because some of those you have to do every year, some are every 3 years, and that way the veterinarians will know the ones to give them. Here we are looking outside today. As I said earlier, we might get a little sunshine. There's a little peeking through, but today we could get up to another ½ inch of rain. Scattered showers today, scattered tomorrow as well. Tuesday is actually a separate storm that will be coming in, and maybe tomorrow about the same amount of rain. Might spill over into Wednesday morning. So between now and Tuesday, maybe expect in total, could be another ½ inch to an inch of rain between the next couple days. And then clearing up on Thursday and Friday. However, a chance of more rain coming in next weekend. So keep that in mind. Right now it's a 20% chance, but lately when these chances have been coming out about a storm coming in, it's only grown more. So it's a good shot of that next weekend if you got plans. All right, we will see you tomorrow. You take care. Bye-bye.
Mama used to. 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 Mama used to.